let's take a look at today's project. Yeah, kind of tedious to work around. This, of course, is the left side rear engine cover, the shroud here on the 3-liter flat 6 in the 911 Porsche. We're not really running a heater in this big old convertible, and so I thought, hey, I'll get on the forum, Pelican forum, and do a search. Why? Somebody's looked for one before, another guy, oh yeah, I've got one. So I thought, well, maybe it's a common enough thing. No. I could only find, somebody pointed me to Patrick Motorsports, thank you very much. And yes, they do have a metal one that looked a bit welded up and rough, and a bit expensive. Renline makes a lovely carbon fiber pair, reasonably priced, $100.50, but kind of overkill. I mean, here's the simple right side cover that just keeps the most of the air that the fan gathers going down the fins of the engine. And so that was the goal here, and therefore, looking at our project table, using pretty much just the things you see here, we've made one. A single piece. I'm going to try to mount it simpler than the original arrangement, which had a hard to access screw down here. The way I kind of thought about doing this, you can see how the plastic piece would attach basically 4 places. There's a boss down here that's kind of hard to get to below the distributor. And so I looked down here and I thought, well, what we got here, you can see a nice little straight opening in the back side of this chain case that allows that aluminum piece to be inserted there. You know, I'm just talking 1/8 of an inch, but that's going to hold it in place even better than a screw here would, because it totally captures and eliminates any kind of air leak down here. And then, of course, curving around the fan housing meets the bottom corner. And then I actually am able to just drop it down to that gap. And I've made it fit tightly all around. I haven't put the screw holes here yet or trimmed this down. A little bit of extra here in case there's a small gap in the corner. Just a slight bit more refining of the shape here. And you can see I selected tools that sort of match the arc of the fan in there on the engine. Pretty much hammer and dolly technique. Let's take a look at the hopefully finished piece before I paint it. Now you can see the chunk I cut this out of. It was just something I had laying around, I had overspray on it. One piece, no welding, using, like I said, just a few hand tools, tin snips, a variety of dolly arrangements. Yes, that old old cooking pot there had just the right curvature for the fan. I like showing this stuff because, you know, most people think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? Well, you don't need very much, and if you just sit back and think about it and let your built-in 3D printer work, you can design and build things. It looked like I had just enough of the blue Rust-Oleum that I use. A little bit thick in places, but it'll flatten out. And hey, behind the distributor has a job to do. Looks better than what I replaced. We're rolling. And finally, we can see how much better the access to the distributor is. We won't need this eyesore of a bracket for long. Continue in our quest for increasing simplicity. How would you put it? Increasing lightness, reducing clutter, reducing tedium, reducing things that get in the way of things you need to get to all the time when you're a classic car guy. And you understand these things don't have to have AC and a whole lot of comforts. They're not They're not the primary transport. They've got other purposes in life.